Good evening, everybody. My experience with keratoconus came a little bit as a shock. I was first diagnosed when I was about 17 or 18. I went to have a totally unrelated procedure on my eyelid, and after the specialist had finished, he said, "Oh, when did you find out you had keratoconus?" And I said, "Oh, do I? What is it?" And he gave me about a 10-word description, and that was it. Off I went. Went home, told my parents. They were kind of, we didn't know anyone with it. We didn't have any idea where to go for help or anything. So, and eventually, then the rest of the story takes over from there. I come along with history, you see. I've probably been living with keratoconus for longer than a lot of people have been diagnosed with it. I originally started off, as most people do, wearing glasses, and then an old friend of mine who has since died said to me, he was an optometrist, he said, "Look," he said, "I'd like to try you in contacts. I think they'd work well." So I said, "Okay, well, we'll give it a go if it's going to improve the eye shape and it'll improve the vision." So we did, and I actually, in the 70s, started wearing contact lenses. Now, in the 70s, they were nothing like what they are today, I'm certain. So this is where I come with history, because I figure that if you can live with them in the 70s, you can live with them today. I wore them for about 15 years, and that was pretty constant. My glasses were useless by that stage. They didn't do much good for my sight. So I didn't have, I wasn't wearing glasses at all. I was just wearing, only if I needed to, and then, I'd just stay home for the day. I wouldn't go very far, so because the sight just wasn't adequate without them. I wore them for about 15 years. Now, I wore hard ones to start because that was all that was available. Then soft ones came in, so I wore those. Then I wore hard soft, but I'm not sure if they're hard soft or soft hard. But I wore them, it was like a combination. They were hard on one side and soft on the other. Hey, come on, I can't remember back that far. They hold the cornea in shape better, which means that you can quite often get much better vision with them, and so they're recommended for that. And if you need to, like I often, my reading gets the over of what's over by the time I do the distance vision. You can top them up with reading glasses or whatever you need. For a while, I had contact lenses and reading glasses, and that was good because I just had the glasses then for work, which was convenient. One of the good things with keratoconus is they stop your knuckle rubbing, because with contact lenses, they stop your knuckle rubbing because you know that you've got something in your eye, and when they're not, I tend to try to keep sneaking in little rubs all the way. And beside that, that you just look better without glasses. I found them very hard to get used to, but once I did, there was just no other way to compare it. You've got peripheral vision, you've got hand-eye coordination. I hadn't had peripheral vision or hand-eye coordination for that long. I had to learn that there was things out there that, I could do them. And better depth perception. Now, I've always been clumsy. I've got a problem, and I've always had that problem. And to have bad eyesight on top of a tendency to go flat on your face, to put it quickly, is, you need all the depth perception you can get. But one of the good things is, well, it was bad because every time we went to a barbecue, I got to peel the onions because they actually protect the front of your eye. And I was the only one who was there who would not cry. So I'd go to a barbecue, get handed the chopping board and the onions and a big knife. While wearing contact lenses, what have I done? I've paraglided, swam, but you've got to keep your eyes closed. I've whitewater rafted. I used to play squash. Now, there's no way I'd attempt to play squash in glasses. On one occasion, I actually even beat my ex-husband. He was not happy at the squash. I'm constantly adjusting them because they never seem to be in the right spot. Once with your contact lenses, once you put them in, they're in. You're right for the day. You just forget about them. You've got to be careful, keep them clean hands, clean towel. I used to lay out a towel, had a big mirror and do them that way. But you get really good after a while, the same as, I don't worry about eye drops. I just go like this now, because I've been doing them for so long. You get used to it, and it's really easy. It really does, you know, grow on you after a while. I had a few funny incidents, but I was wearing, at the time I started wearing them, I estimate my son was about 3 years old. Well, he's 44 now. So it was a long time ago, but it became very fashionable to have coloured contact lenses. So with my colouring, I decided I'd emphasise the green in my eyes, and I got green contact lenses. Now, they were a dark green, and what I didn't take into account when I got them was the fact that I had a dark green bathroom floor. Yeah, I don't have to explain anymore, do I? But it happened one day. My son was 3, he wasn't very old. He came in, I said, "Stop, matey, don't walk in the bathroom because mummy's dropped the contact lens." "I find it for you, mummy." He's down on his hands and knees, and he's going across the bathroom floor. And he became very good in the end. I'd drop one, I'd say, "Anthony, mummy's dropped the contact lens," and he'd come racing in and rescue me. And another incident that I had, which I was walking through David Jones one day on the eve of Christmas Eve, actual, you know, 24th of December, and I must have gone like that. And I suddenly went, "Oh, I think I've lost a contact lens." So my son and I, and that was when I think I was wearing the soft hard ones. My son and I circled around, and we came back, and all these people, you've got no idea, there must have been hundreds of people just walking across the floor where it was. So, and I think anyone with any medical training should put their fingers in their ears when they hear the whole of this story, because I thought, oh, what am I going to do? Like, it's Christmas Eve, I'm not going to be able to get this redone. So I scraped it up off the floor, kind of with difficulty. I said to Anthony, "Will you stand one side of it? I'll stand the other." He was probably a couple of years older by this stage, but he was still, you know, quite small. We scraped it up off the floor, and then I thought, okay, I've got to keep it moist. So I thought, what am I going to do? So we started to walk up to OPSM around the corner, but I thought it was closer, and I thought, oh, they must have moved. So, okay, I thought, but no, first of all, I gave it a wash under the tap. Then I kept it moist all the way home. And I actually managed, when I got home, I could ring my friend who was the optometrist, because, you know, I knew him, he was a neighbour. I rang him up and I said, "Look, Jeff, I've damaged the lens. I think there's a little bit missing on one side." And so he said, "I will give him a good bath," because of course I didn't have anything with me. But he said, "Oh, why didn't you go to OPSM? They're only around the corner." Anyway, I managed to, and it was a little bit loose on the side, so we just took that bit off for the moment, and I succeeded in wearing them all over the Christmas period. So yeah, you have some interesting encounters with them, but look, each keratoconus case is different. Just follow the professional's advice. I rang my girlfriend and said, she's another optometrist, and said, "What are we talking about? What I've got to talk about this, what am I going to say?" And she, and you know, this was her advice, was, you know, just follow the advice of your treating practitioner. If they recommend something, I go with it, because they're not going to tell you something that is not. If you don't have faith in your practitioners, your optometrists, your specialists, you need to change. You need to find somebody you do have the confidence in, and then follow their advice, because they're not going to give you crazy advice. They're only going to give you good stuff. They know your eye better than anybody else. And make sure that they are experienced in keratoconus. It can be quite hard to find somebody who does have the right experience. When I was looking for a new specialist, I rang my girlfriend and I said, "Oh, look, I found this one." And so I gave her the name, and she said, "No, Joy, you're not going there. He does eyelid lifts in the middle of doing the other surgery." She said, "I don't think he's a specialist." My attitude is, well, why not wear them? Because I really enjoyed wearing them. You might say, why aren't I wearing them now? Because at this stage in life, they don't give me good enough vision. I'd still have to top them up with glasses, and there's not much point. You know, aside from when you're cooking the roast, you open the oven, boom, your glasses are all fogged up. There's only a couple of merits, and if you're going to have to then put glasses over the top, it'd be an expensive thing to do. It's, you know, if I'm handed a script from the doctors, I take it home, I wait till the next day when I've picked the glasses, I wait till the next day, and I get up first thing in the morning and I put the glasses on my face. Your eyes are fresh. They're used to getting something put on your nose every morning that improves your vision, And so therefore, when you, you know, I put them in first thing in the morning, and then they're right, and your eyes adjust to them. I found they adjust more quickly that way. The reason I stopped wearing them was because having had keratoconus so long ago, none of the new treatments were available to me, and I was having corneal grafts quite early in my life, and they ceased to be effective with the keratoconus. The keratoconus outgrew the contact lenses, so I had to swap over. Now, the advice I give to people with this problem is, don't let your keratoconus define you, who you are. You make sure who you are. Like you be the one that defines where you're going in life and what you're doing. I've played B-grade comp tennis, and I've also got double vision and astigmatism as well. I've played B-grade comp tennis, graduated university as a mature age student, run 3 businesses all at the same time, 1 child, 2 husbands, and I'm still working. And don't anybody say, why are you still working at your age? So, you know, that's my advice. Don't let your keratoconus define you. You get, oh, I've travelled in over 50 countries. So it's possible you could get on with life and just do what is necessary for it at the time and enjoy the rest of it, because if you curl up in a ball, it's not going to get you anywhere. You know, you've got to forget about the eyes, do what you have to do to keep the eyes going, and then enjoy whatever else you're able to do at the time. I mean, I've had times where I can't drive. I've hailed a bus instead of a car, I've hailed a truck instead of a car, hailed a truck instead of a bus. It's really, you just have to do what you can to get around, and you just take it and move on. So yes, don't let it define you. You define who you're going to be. Thank you.